SKN. I'm Andre Cunningham.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day indeed. So we're here to get you over the hump, and we hope we will do a good job doing so.
Indeed. Looking forward.
What say it to you?
Can't wait. Can't wait to do some yoga and stretches. We have a fun-filled segment show lineup for y'all this morning.
Oh, I just thought you were extremely excited for that yoga session.
I am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm yet to see your skills.
Let's see.
I think that is you. Yes, very much so.
You think?
Yes, very much so.
She's trying me this morning. Anyhow.
So Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew has moved the second reading of the Smoking Designated Areas Bill 2023 in the National Assembly today, Tuesday, June 23rd, as the government of St. Kitts and Nevis seeks to create an environment in the Federation where the rights of all persons are respected and no one's rights are violated. The Smoking Designated Areas Bill of 2023 designates certain specific public places as smoking areas to prohibit smoking outside of a designated area in public places to be better provided protection from exposure to certain types of smoke and related or incidental matters. The Honorable Prime Minister told the National Assembly that he believes that now is the best scenario for the country, as it would allow for those who partake in the practice to exercise their rights without exposing non-smokers, particularly those with pre-existing health issues, to any health risk. So I guess for the festival, whether you smoke cigarettes or not, you have to go to that mound.
Indeed, but I wonder how the process goes. Like, they'll have to apply for a license?
I am not quite sure. From what I've been hearing, and no, this is just hearsay. You just have to have an ID, I think.
Wow.
To prove that you're a certain age and you can smoke. But I don't know. Maybe that's something we can find out. We still have one. Well, no, today's the last day before the festival starts.
Indeed.
Tomorrow. Shucks me.
Still on the local scene, this one comes to us from SKNIS. 19 exemplary nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis were invested with the 2022 National Honors Awards for their exceptional contribution to the development of the Federation at an investiture ceremony held by Her Excellency the Governor General de Marcella Liber GCMG JP on Tuesday, June 20, 2022 at Government House. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew congratulated the recipients, noting that their contribution would leave a lasting positive impression on the lives of many. Prime Minister Dr. Drew thanked the awardees for their meritorious contributions to nation building. The honorees were awarded in keeping with the National Honors Act No. 19 of 1996. The National Honors Act provides for the Star of Merit, the Merit of Honor, and the Order of National Hero to be awarded to any citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis who renders distinguished and outstanding service to the nation.
Congratulations to all the recipients of the award.
Indeed, very well deserved.
Indeed. As we continue now, our story comes from Media Scan. The St. Kitts and Nevis Music Festival is considered to be a significant driver of tourism activity in the Federation during the summer months, and Ellison Tommy Thompson, CEO at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, said the support thus far from regional and international travel and media partners have been tremendous. During the Monday, June 19 Music Festival press conference, Thompson shared the impact of the music festival on regional and international travel. Makana Ferry Services on Tuesday morning, June 20th, shared to the public their decision to supply additional trips to accommodate interested patrons to the St. Kitts Music Festival from St. Eustatius, Saba, and St. Martin. In particular, a partnership between Sackville Travel in the UK ensured that people who wanted to book a package with the tickets would be able to do so, Thompson disclosed. So that's good. So you pay for everything in one. So you receive it all, so there's no rush or any sort of when you get here.
So that's a good thing, at least.
Are you excited?
No hassle. Why are you asking me if I'm excited?
Are you excited about
I'm excited.
I have to ask. I don't know. So you're going tomorrow?
Of course.
And you're going Friday?
Also.
And Saturday?
You'll be there as well.
What a show off. Me?
You will be there as well.
Okay. We're yet to see.
Here's what's happening in our local weather report for today. It's a little bit mostly sunny with a high of 88 and a low of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It is currently 84 degrees Celsius. Stay with us. Regional and international news are next. Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you're just joining us, you're just in time for regional and international news. This one comes to us by press release by CXC. As the Caribbean braces for the impending tropical storm Brett, if a country's Ministry of Education has not ordered a cancellation of the examinations, then Caribbean Examinations Council exams are still on in the territory. In a statement issued that evening, Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, CXC is currently monitoring Tropical Storm Brett as it approaches the region. The statement said, and quote, "During and after the passage of this weather system, the safety and well-being of all our stakeholders is paramount. We urge all stakeholders to follow the safety directives provided by each government. CXC is in dialogue with ministries of education across the region as it relates to the examinations which may be affected in their country. For countries where their government has not ordered a cancellation of the examinations, all examinations are expected to be administered as normal," end quote. CXC promised to update as further information is provided by the region's meteorological services.
Oh, that's good. So, if there is a storm, then the countries that are writing this particular exam can decide, okay, we're not going to do the exam until the storm is over.
So no excuse for those who are not experiencing this weather system.
Yep. Go out and do your best.
Indeed.
Go out and do your best. On the international scene, this news comes from CNN. A 19-year-old Korean man tried to open a plane door mid-flight after complaining that he felt, and quote, pressure on his chest, but luckily the cabin crew stopped him. The passenger, who was on a red-eye flight from Cebu in the Philippines to Seoul, Korea, was, and quote, acting strangely about an hour into the flight. So he was moved to the front row of the plane, close to the exit door, where staff couldn't monitor him. Officials from Jeju Airlines said. After moving seats, the man suddenly ran towards the emergency door and tried to open it. But he was immediately subdued by crew, who used a lasso rope and tie wraps to keep him controlled for the rest of the flight. A Jeju Airlines official said. The airlines added that the door stayed closed, the plane was left undamaged, and none of the 180 passengers on board were harmed in the incident. I wonder what goes through their mind, because remember somebody coming from that way
Right.
did it just the other day.
Exactly.
So
Maybe it's a trend.
but a dangerous trend, because you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting others. I can understand him feeling pressure, but that's something he can complain. He can make the flight attendants aware of, and they can
Exactly.
give him varying ways on how to deal with that.
But the news said he ran to the door like.
But they
wasn't he
moved him in front because they realized he was going through some sort of problem to keep them, I guess, close to them, and it happened to be at an exit seat.
Right.
And now he thinks he can open the exit because he's feeling the pressure to go where, brother? No
Like,
parachute.
why wasn't he
no-
wearing a seatbelt? Well, the
Listen,
belt.
he could have gotten out of the belt and go. They are things. Listen, I flew for 12 years, and there are things that you see up there that you don't want to see. But I'm happy that I never had an emergency or any unruly passenger of that caliber.
Good for you.
Yes,
Good
indeed.
for you.
Well, folks, there you have it for local, regional, and international news. Stay tuned. As Andre mentioned, we have a packed show. So go tell your friends we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. We are on the local cable TVC channel 40, and in St. Martin, you can catch us on Tel TV SXM. Stay tuned. Much more after this, a short break.
My name is Asan Green from Green Your Asan Refrigeration. Be sure to tune in to Studio 3 to 7 for Good Morning SKN from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
an exotic experience.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good Morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? Hopefully, the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you.
And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana Lido, owner of Soul Food Kitchen. Make sure to tune in to Good Morning SKN on Studio 327, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. daily.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Frank Martella is a Finnish philosopher and psychology researcher who studies the fundamentals of happiness. This is quite fitting as Frank has lived in Finland all his life, the country which has been crowned the happiest country in the world for a record 6th time this year. People often ask, what is the meaning of life? But Frank declares, and quote, the biggest question isn't about some cosmic meaning of life, it's about how to find meaning in life. What makes life feel worthy and valuable to you, end quote. Today, we will be reviewing 5 ways we can all find meaning in life, according to Frank, which is his boils down to the words, make yourself meaningful to others.
Yeah, so others work in this situation, and I can understand it working. Voice, now you work in this situation as well. I can understand it working in this situation with the others.
Indeed. I can't wait to see what his philosophy is.
I need to go to Finland though, because I heard it's really a happy country.
They're happy? You want to go to Finland?
They're happy. Even the dads get like, I know Canada gives dads extra maternity days, but in Finland they get extra maternity days too.
Wow.
And the people are happy. I think they have short work weeks and all that. Just a whole happy country. I wish everybody can have a wholesome, happy country like Finland.
Happiness is key, I agree.
Indeed.
Those Scandinavian countries. I think it's 3 of them. Finland.
Who else?
Denmark.
And who else?
And
I don't know. So
I think it's Finland, Denmark, and another one. It's 3 of them make up Scandinavia.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I'll have to tell to that one today. So
can't help me.
but we can Google during the break. Go to Dr. Google, and then when I come back, I'll be like, dun dun dun.
Yes.
I got it.
Well, they could share which 3 countries make up Scandinavia.
Oh,
I know it.
Okay, share it in the comments, guys.
Yes.
Andre is asking that you.
I'm not sure. Can't remember. I know it's 3 of them.
Okay, so
Finland, Denmark, and another one.
It's not Poland, is
Sweden.
it? Sweden. Okay.
Yes.
Look at you.
Memory serves correctly.
Are you sure that memory serves correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I guarantee you I'm correct.
Sure.
Sure.
I'm trying to make you unsure.
Finland, Denmark, Sweden. Those 3 countries make up the Scandinavia.
Alrighty. Well, let's get to it and find out what it means to be meaningful.
Yep. Live for yourself, not someone else's expectations.
But then it says, make yourself meaningful to others. But I understand this. So how can I make myself meaningful or available to you when I am living for myself and not up to your expectations?
Well, it can be hard to live with purpose if you're filled with resentment because you're on a path that someone else picked for you. You have to understand what makes you happy and start doing more of it.
Wow. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't understand, right? I know a lot of people go through this. I do understand, y'all.
So you live for others instead of living for you?
Do you see my face? This is my real face. No. You can't, because you build up resentment. And I remember telling someone, I resent you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was their reaction?
I guess they were shocked.
Wow.
But I don't, and that is true, because when they choose a path that you should be on and you do not like that path, then it for sure builds resentment.
Not someone else's expectation.
Yeah. So do what makes you happy.
Yep.
And start doing it on this hump day as we lead you over to church on Friday.
Indeed.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
How do you live for yourself?
How do you live for yourself? As they say, do what makes you happy. Okay. So
I think it comes off selfish though, don't you think?
No, but we gotta be selfish. The Bible encourages us to be selfish. You know, I like to talk about the good.
Where in the Bible encourages you to be selfish?
I'll pull it up during the break.
No,
I'm going to pull it up during the break and show you. I have to show you. I can't tell you.
And it's not believable, folks.
How could it not be? You are saying the good book is not believable.
It is once it showed me.
Oh, Jesus will get you. Jesus will get you. He will certainly get you. It encourages you to be selfish in a good way.
I want you to show that to me.
I certainly will. Become an expert and share your knowledge.
You see? Become an expert and share your knowledge. You've made a quote from the Bible, and I'm asking you to share your knowledge, and you're unable to do so.
But I'm going to become an expert and share my knowledge.
You are gonna become an expert. See?
Andre, I'm going to share my expertise, but I won't share it on camera. Okay?
Why? But you want the audience to see.
You want the audience to see?
Yes.
No. It's not everything that you put out there. Some things you only share with certain folks, because not everyone is receptive. They're gonna believe me. I think I'm believable. Don't.
Well, take it from me. Not all things believable.
Not all things are believable.
No.
Did you say especially from me?
Especially from Corty.
No, those things aren't right.
How do you become an expert at what you do?
I guess. Okay. So I shouldn't offer expert advice at. Oh, look how many.
What? Scandinavian countries? There's 7 of them?
No.
I thought it was 3.
But you see, you got.
I get them. Well, I was taught there was 3 of them in school: Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Those were the 3 Scandinavian countries.
Andre, teacher, call us, please. We need to beat you. Are you sure you didn't forget, since you seem to be dropping off the calendar?
Listen,
so it's Denmark, folks. It's Norway. It's Sweden. It's Finland. It's Iceland. Is this the Faroe Islands and Greenland and Åland? Wow. Scandinavian.
Yes.
But you got 3. So I give you a whoop.
And the first
I wasn't sure, so I was not gonna say anything.
Well. So how
That's
do
why
I look?
Huh?
At least I didn't
3
lie.
out of 7. That's good. But
No, I would
we
have
never said you...
fail. 3 out of
No,
7.
but you got 3. I got none. Well, I didn't attempt because I couldn't remember that. But now that I see it, the only one I can honestly say I'm not sure of is that Faroe
Islands.
or Faroe Islands and Island. Me neither.
Those were the main 3 ones. There you go. So I was correct.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
But that's what I was told in school.
Teacher, be proud of Andre, although we still need to have a talk. So become an expert and share your knowledge. One of the best ways to serve others is to find something that meets 3 requirements.
What are those?
You're good at it. It excites you. It has a positive impact on others. Once you've found a job or a hobby that makes you feel fulfilled, put all your focus into becoming an expert in it. Then share it with your community. And as I was about to say before we found out what the countries were, if I'm not a counselor in a certain area, or I have not had the test and then the lesson, what can I tell you, Andre?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. He is correct.
Nothing.
So you have to become an expert in exercising simply too. How can I teach you yoga and I don't know the first thing about a pose?
That's why the experts are here.
Exactly.
And they will be here this morning.
Exactly. So we have to be, how should we say, either have the experience, be educated about it before we can offer advice. And I often say, people don't want our advice. We didn't take advice that we got sometimes. You only give advice when they ask for it. Before that, don't. And if you don't know good, or if you don't have good advice, don't give it.
You have some persons have no form of advice whatsoever. No care how you go to them for assistance, they can never share.
But do you want, maybe those are folks that don't want to give advice because you didn't ask. How about, let's look at it this way. They're just listening to you. They don't want to offer you any advice because you didn't ask for it.
That's true. But if you're that type of person who's always giving advice and you want some advice,
so then Andre, I think the way to approach that is to say, can you help me with this, or what advice would you give me?
Well, that's what I did.
Oh, and they had none to offer?
None whatsoever.
Okay, person, I have nothing to say.
Practice random acts of kindness. Helping people doesn't just feel good in the moment. It benefits your long-term health too. Studies show that people who give emotional support to their family, friends, and neighbors are more likely to live longer. So you see, you're gonna live longer, Courtney.
By giving emotional support?
Not only that,
to weigh on my poor emotions that I need help with, probably.
You're a good friend.
But I'm being truthful.
Family. You support your neighbor. So you're gonna live long.
All right.
Yes. So you're on your way to finding happiness. What?
So at this moment, I'm unhappy.
You get it. You get it.
All righty, guys. So be a good neighbor. So Talkhoot is an old Finnish word that translates to working together to do something that one would not be able to do alone. Working with your community is a practice. Working with your community, Lord Jesus, working with your community is a practice that has proven to cause significant increases in happiness. So working together, working over the fence. Oh, let's clean up. Let's throw away the trash. Let's cut down the grass. And let's have a little eat afterwards.
Even that walk that we did the other day, the Oasis, you notice how easy it was? Why are you laughing? This is the second time I mentioned that walk and you laugh. Why?
Nothing.
It seems like someone is guilty of something.
What? I just found it funny that you mentioned the walk.
Oh. When we do things together, I think it lessens the work, makes it feel lighter.
But walking, and we each have to walk?
Well, you cover more mileage when you walk together.
Well, then we have the camaraderie and we have the chatting and the laughing as we proceed along.
Exactly. So if you walk by yourself, think it's never ending. But if you do it in a group, then
because I like to walk, it's not.
You like to walk?
Love to walk.
Never seen you before.
Listen, Saturday brought back so much memories, and
So you haven't done it in a long while.
I haven't done it in a long while. The last time I walked was last July, and do you know where I walked? I walk the Sir Kennedy Simmons Highway, and then just as you get around the corner before you go down to Ocean's Edge, there's a next entrance off the road on your. If I'm going up, it will be on my right hand side. I go up there, and then I go all the way to the top where there's a water tank. I did that for 7 consecutive days, and every day I try to beat the time that I went up the day before. That's lovely. I love to climb.
So what stopped you?
Huh?
What stopped you?
I guess I don't have the time right now. Yeah.
I wonder why.
I guess I don't, but I love to climb. And I did it all by myself.
That's
every day. And up there is where I saw the prettiest centipede. Y'all.
What color it was?
It was turquoise. It was yellow. And I just let it pass. I just was like, wow, that centipede's
sure it wasn't
pretty.
A rattlesnake?
And I would be there. I would be off of that hill so fast. No, it was a centipede. I was actually surprised. Those are the colors of them up there. I don't know if that's the color they use to disguise themselves with the plants, because they look exactly like the plants. They were actually pretty beans. Not like the ones we see down here. We want to whack them.
I hate centipedes.
All of us do.
I do.
Yeah.
Embrace quiet time together. People don't need to make grand gestures to be an important part of your life. Being together in silence should be enough to make us feel connected and loved. As the Finnish saying goes, speech is silver, but silver is gold.
But silence is gold. Not silver.
Silence is gold. Oh.
Because I want to know if Andre gonna cover up my silver with gold and pass it off as gold.
It's a tongue twister.
But I would say, right, they say silence is gold. Maybe for a guy that's watching this, he might say yes, because sometimes my wife or my girlfriend talk too much.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
I find my co-host is agreeing on a lot of things this morning.
Saying you should be silent. Listen. We're going back to the good book, and the good book says there's a time and place for everything, and there's a time to speak and a time to shut up. Didn't it tell you that?
I don't know.
I agree. You see, these are the type of persons, people that quote the Bible just to suit their needs and wants. We need the persons who will quote the Bible in its entirety. Repeat after me. Learn to quote the Bible in its entirety.
Okay.
Got it.
Folks, so with that said, we hope you enjoyed the segment as much as we did. And as I said, I long for the day when we can be as happy as the folks in Finland. Yeah.
Yep. Happy as happy.
Yeah, I think I'm moving there. Yeah, I'm going to be known as one of the Scandinavian. I'm going to get my residency.
One off,
yeah.
See you there. Wish you well.
Yeah.
See you for music festival.
With that said, folks, much more after this.
My name is Winiel Pereira. I am the founder of Pure Niceness by Winiel, which is an all-natural, luxurious self-care line of skin and hair care. Tune in to Good Morning SKN on Studio 327. Imagine the impossible.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, this is Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it, go already. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lab. It's a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
exotic experience.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Last week we spoke with Dr. Didicus Jules, the Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS. Dr. Jules shared with us details on the celebratory activities for the 42nd anniversary of the OECS and stressed the importance of regional integration and development. To continue this conversation, it is our pleasure to welcome His Excellency Ambassador Larry Vaughan to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, Ambassador, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, my hosts.
Happy you could join us this morning, sir.
Happy that you could have joined us on Saturday morning.
Oh. It was indeed. I enjoyed that walk indeed. So let's first talk about your thoughts on the theme, vision, integration, sustainability, and progress.
That theme, and it encapsulates a story.
Mm-hmm.
The vision that came in 1981 for there to be closer integration. I don't know if Dr. Jules would have spoken about WISA, W-I-S-A.
Yes, I asked him about
how it transitioned into the OECS.
Yes.
There is a St. Kitts and Nevis reality where in 1979, a gentleman by the name of C.A. Paul Southwell, he would have been at that WISA meeting in 1979 to formulate the OECS and died at that meeting.
Oh, yes.
And so St. Kitts and Nevis has been deeply involved in that integration process. And there is a vision towards that stronger West Indian reality of harmonization, of being able to move freely between the member states. And so that vision came into being in the form of the OECS in 1981. And we wanted to be able to bring about integration. We wanted it to be sustainable, that for generations to come, there would be that integration process, that it started in 1981, but it should go, as our national anthem says, to posterity extend.
Yes.
And then finally, the progress, that we must have prosperous states, that we can have in our region a monetary system that keeps the value of the EC dollar quite stable, so that despite all the issues we face with Ukraine and with COVID, we are still in relative ease because that vision has been put in place for integration that is sustainable and bringing progress. It tells our story. I love the theme. I don't know who came up with it, but I think I'd give them half my salary.
Ooh, and
it makes sense. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
You explained it so well.
Yes.
So
Indeed. Your Excellency, I realized there was a week-long list of activities. You had the fun walk. You also have the flag raising ceremony, and also there was OECS in the classroom. Can you share with us some of your experience during those activities?
Have you ever heard of baptism by fire?
Oh, so you were baptized by fire?
I consider it to be that, because
He made it look easy.
when I looked at it, I really thought that all the commission, the OECS commission, would have been coming for was the heads meeting, and that's it. And then I was told that in every member state, whenever the heads meeting is being held, it's always around the 18th of June as the anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Bastille.
Yes.
That they would come to the member state and they would have pre-activities in celebration of that anniversary.
Right.
And so when I was told that there are going to be some pre-meeting activities, we then asked, what would they be? And they want to go into the classrooms, so you have to organize. And so we were happy with the level of support we got from the Ministry of Education, where we were able to go into 12 primary schools across St. Kitts and Nevis. So we, if I could quickly off the top of my head tell you them, we went to Brontuwell, Sandy Point, St. Paul. In Nevis, we went to Elizabeth Pemberton Primary, St. Thomas's, and Violet Jeffers Nichols.
Nice.
Back in St. Kitts on the Thursday, we went to Keon Primary, Molyneux Primary, and Sadler's Primary. And then on the Friday, we did Tucker Clark, Irish Town, and St. Peter's Primary. I'm trying to remember, Dean Glassford.
Okay.
And so we covered these schools, and there was an enthusiasm in the children. We understand that sometimes we believe that we don't know much about regional integration, but by the time we spoke, the children at the age of grades 5 and 6 were telling us, right? It tells me that our people have an understanding. It's just that we need to have the conversation.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Because to have information and not apply it does not make good value of the information. And so we recognize that as young as grades 5 and 6, our children have an understanding of the regional integration. It means our adults also have some understanding. Perhaps the application is the issue. And that's what one of the learning that took place for me during those school visits. We wanted to visit the high schools and the college, and we realized it was not possible. It's exam time. We can't get into the schools. And so we supplemented that for a panel discussion on national TV on the Thursday evening. It went very well. There were guests. The host was lawyer Brooks, Vadisha John Brooks, and her style interwove that conversation of a young youth parliamentarian who was able to bring what are the issues the young people would think about regional integration, and interwove my perspective, Dr. Jules's perspectives as the Director General, and also Mrs. Satney, Francis Ann Satney, who was able to speak to regional integration as someone who was born in Dominica, worked in Antigua, married to a St. Lucian, living in St. Kitts, and interacting and working across different islands. And when you have that rich experience, it tells you that regional integration is real. It's now to bring it further, because as the theme is saying, it ends with progress, but progress is not the end, because progress is an ongoing thing. Right?
You are correct.
And so that is why I love the theme. It doesn't come to a finality. It tells you that it must keep going. It must go for the advancement of the people. The flag raising, that too was a simple yet symbolic ceremony, and the flags will be up until Friday over at the Frigate Bay area in the roundabout that has been dedicated to the life of Mr. Zuliani. We chose that area because everyone coming into and out of Frigate Bay will see it. And so it was strategically chosen for that, and the meetings were also in Frigate Bay. So the heads also would pass it, coming and going. It was strategically chosen. And then the walk in solidarity. This was the biggest surprise for me. I really thought that, hey, if I get 100 people come to that walk, I'll be okay. But I said, okay, as someone who has lived my life into sales and marketing, I could try to beef it up at least to 250. So what I did, I catered for 300. So if I'm successful, by the end of the first week, I was over 270 subscribed. And we got nearly 400 persons on the walk. And so it was an overwhelming success. We have the understanding that the people, not only do they understand, but they associate as well. And it's for us to keep that fire going, that understanding continuing. So those were the activities, and the meeting got off to a great start on Sunday afternoon, and the heads did meet on Monday and arrived at some very good decisions for the people of the region.
That's good. Well, the significance of the 73rd meeting of the OECS Authority, that was the installation of our Prime Minister as the new chair. How significant is it for our federation?
It is significant for the federation because St. Kitts and Nevis continues to be at the vanguard of regional integration. I went as far back as 1979 with Paul Southwell, but I can go further back with Robert Bradshaw being in what in the late 1950s to 1962 was the West Indies Federation. And he was the Minister of Finance there from its inception to its closure in 1962. So we have been leading all along. And so Dr. Drew comes in at this point to be the chair with an understanding that he desires to achieve some things on the regional front that will not only benefit the region, but will make the way for St. Kitts and Nevis. Because one of the things he wants to look at would be healthcare. And he's looking at what we are calling centers of excellence, so that if across the region, where we have about 650,000 persons living in the OECS, in the protocol states, because we also have 4 other member states who are not protocol members, and we are hoping that eventually they will accede and come fully into as members. But what we're looking for at this point under health and centers of excellence is that perhaps St. Kitts and Nevis can be the area for heart, or we're doing kidney transplants, and so it takes the burden of going to North America, going to Europe, paying more monies when it is available. But here is the other problem. How do you get these patients from the islands when we have a transportation issue? So the other agenda is to make sure that we can move freely about the region, because you can't have deep integration when I can't move freely. And so the other thing we're looking at is to finalize the agenda to make sure that goods and people move freely as well. So on the agenda was the free circulation of goods, where once goods have landed in any one of the member states, to transfer it from one member state to the next should not incur any additional duties or taxes, because it is already within the jurisdiction of the OECS. And very much the same for the citizens, that if Larry Vaughan tomorrow sees an opportunity in Antigua and Barbuda, he is able to travel there without a passport and begin that work even without the need for a work permit or for skill certificate, as is the requirement under another form of regional integration with CARICOM at this time. And so we are seeking to have even much more deeper integration than is currently available in the broader context. And so the OECS is having this opportunity to get more done under the leadership now of Dr. Drew, because this becomes his moment of hurrah. It's 7 more years before it circulates again, because every protocol member state gets the opportunity to chair. And it goes in alphabetical order. So we're expecting that the next chairman would be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And so we must pass along an agenda to him that is, if it is not even complete within the year, it is so well defined and advanced that he can take up the baton and continue.
Okay. You just said something about several years and a year. Just to clear it up before we continue. So Dr. Drew will
His chairmanship is only for a year.
Oh, only for a year. Okay.
And there are 7 protocol member states.
Yes.
So Montserrat alphabetically came before us.
Yes.
That's why Montserrat gave up the chairmanship to Dr. Drew, who will now pass on in 1 year's time to St. Lucia.
Okay, understood.
So what about those associated member states? Will they get the opportunity to lead the OECS as well?
From my understanding, they may be able to host a meeting, but they're not, because of their protocol membership, I don't know them to be able to chair. I know the chairmanship revolves within the protocol states, which are those who are full members of the OECs.
Okay. And let's shift focus a bit and speak a little bit about
all about you.
Yes, your position as commissioner to the OECS. How long have you been working in the capacity as commissioner to the OECS?
I was appointed to the position in November 24th last year.
Okay, congrats.
I was given the opportunity to become the commissioner with the impartation of the role as head of the regional integration and diaspora unit in the office of the Prime Minister. So what happens in that capacity? I would become the Prime Minister's lead person for regional matters, and so that encapsulates OECS, broader to CARICOM, and even broader to the ACS, which is the Association of Caribbean States. Then added to that, there is a diaspora aspect where we're looking at the work and integrating the people of St. Kitts and Nevis who live abroad. And so the diaspora unit also would take care of that. Already we have named an ambassador to the diaspora, who would be able to represent the Prime Minister to our people in the diaspora and to represent to the Prime Minister the interests and the concerns of people in the diaspora. That person is Dr. Christine Wallowin, and she is off to a very good start, and we are hoping that within a few weeks she'll be representing us at the ANSA, the Anguilla Nevis St. Kitts Associations reunion. It takes place ever so often, and this year it's happening, I think the dates are the 14th to the 16th of July in Anguilla. And so St. Kitts Nevis associations from around the world will congregate in Anguilla and discuss issues of importance to our nationals living in the diaspora.
And of course, I have to ask you, what are some of the highs and lows of being the commissioner to the
because you have quite a portfolio there.
Yes. I have not found the lows as yet. I have not found the lows as yet. Because I want to believe that I'm starting off in a humble position. So I have not been able to look any further down than the humble position I'm taking.
I love that.
The highs, though, would be the ability to put forward the agenda of St. Kitts and Nevis. I've learned a very long time ago that we don't have perpetual friends. What we have in international relations is perpetual interests.
Yes, Dr.
What
said that.
are the interests of St. Kitts and Nevis? And how can we, in having that those interests, having that agenda, be able to make sure that we are at the table of brotherhood to make sure that it takes place? I spent some time some years ago, which I'm bringing to this job. I spent some time some years ago, and I met a gentleman who was once the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Singapore. And he was promoting a book he had written. And the book has stayed with me for life. The name of the book, it says, "Be at the table or be on the menu." And My desire as the St. Kitts and Nevis representative to these organizations is to be at the table, to bring the agenda of St. Kitts and Nevis to the table, and in such a way that we can share with our brothers from each of the different member states, so that together we can achieve in the interest of all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, of all the people of the Eastern Caribbean. And so here we are, 42 years and growing strong. Very soon we'll be celebrating our golden anniversary, maybe in like 8 more years.
Yes.
And maybe by that time, St. Kitts and Nevis will revolve around again to become the chair.
Right.
So who knows?
Yes.
So these are the kind of things we are looking at. We want to be able, by the end of the next 3-6 years, because they are triennial, every 3 years, there are triennial agendas, strategic plans, and it is our desire as the Commission to ensure that all that was set out in the revised Treaty of Bastille, to now bring that to pass and to be implemented effectively and understood by the people of the region. And so that becomes my task. My task is to educate the people, let the people know what is happening with regional integration. How does it benefit the people with the regional integration? The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party came into government seeking to strengthen the blue and the orange economies. These are also priorities of the OECS. So how do we make sure we benefit from? How do we make sure that our local artisans and artists, that they have enough of a market within the OECS, that they're free to ply their trade in the different islands without restrictions, and to their financial, social, and other benefits. And so these are the highs for me, because I now have to bring these into fruition. And here you have a prime minister who is leading this agenda, and I have to make sure he looks good.
I like that. Well, we will take a short break, and when we return, we are going to speak to Ambassador Vaughan about his new role as the St. Kitts and Nevis Ambassador to CARICOM.
It's not new, all of them came together. It was a package deal.
Okay, so we will continue this discussion on the package deal, so stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. JAD. Embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We just had an engaging discussion with His Excellency Ambassador Larry Vaughan about the 42nd anniversary celebration of the OECS. Ambassador Vaughan is still with us, and we will be continuing our conversation about regional development. At this point, we will be speaking about the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, which will be celebrating its Golden Jubilee on 4th of July.
So let's talk about that celebration.
Well, the celebration comes about because on July the 4th, 1973, 4 leaders of the region met and signed what is known to us as the Treaty of Chaguaramas. That agreement sought to deepen the integration process, and 1 year later, St. Kitts and Nevis joined. So we joined in 1974 on the 4th of July. And so it is significant that this year, because there's a celebration of 50 years, that there will be a holiday throughout the region for the Golden Jubilee of CARICOM. That has been sent to the Cabinet of Ministers. It has been approved by the Cabinet of Ministers, and Her Excellency, the Governor General, Dame Marcella, has already made the proclamation. And so there will be on Tuesday the 4th of July a holiday in St. Kitts and Nevis and other member states of CARICOM, with their governments given the blessing for CARICOM Day to be celebrated. This celebration comes because, just like the OECS, there is an integration movement. That integration movement deals a lot with productivity of the member states and productivity in areas of investment, manufacturing, agriculture. We want to be able to have that shared experience. I don't know if you've ever heard of what was the Jack Dale initiative at one point, where then President of Guyana, Barrett Jack Dale, said to all of CARICOM, if you want to do very large-scale farming, Guyana will make the lands available to you. You come to Guyana, you farm as much as you want, and you are free to export and to trade with that. That is the kind of cooperation we have had, and we want to further develop that form of integration. We would like for the professionals, the artisans of our region to also have that experience of moving freely among the member states. And so there is a movement arrangement within CARICOM as well. It is not as deep as the one for the OECS, but because you would understand we are dealing with a wider market, we want to be able to tread cautiously and to do so productively. And so the desire at this point is to work much closely with each other. And so the heads, just like we had our OECS heads meeting, there will be a heads meeting in Trinidad. Now, just like the OECS, there's a rotational basis for the meetings as well. It is not so fortuitous that Trinidad got the meeting for the 50th anniversary. It was supposed to be Dominica's turn. But Dominica said to Trinidad, in the spirit of brotherhood, we will cheer. So the Prime Minister of Dominica, will be the chair of CARICOM. However, in solidarity with Trinidad, knowing that this was a place where the agreement was signed, we will come back home for the 50th anniversary. And so the heads will meet in Port of Spain with a special session in the town of Chaguaramas at the site where the agreement was signed. It promises to be a wonderful celebration, and what the desire is to have the celebration spread throughout the year, from starting in July, spreading from July to June of 2024, and in all the member states. So there are some activities being planned. We are considering at this point public lecture in collaboration with the University of the West Indies. We want also to have an ecumenical service church service of Thanksgiving for 50 years. We are also looking at having what we want to dub an experience of CARICOM street fair. In
Food,
Bastille.
right? Food, right?
Food,
Okay.
culture. We're seeking to have it, music.
Okay.
We're seeking to have that. More details to come.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
More
that.
details to come. And so we're also looking at having an exhibition outlining the history of CARICOM and St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
We want to start it at the National Museum. So on and around July 4th, it will be available to the people. And when it is taken down from the taken down at the National Museum, we then want to migrate it to our public libraries.
Okay.
So we'll have it at Charles Halbert, at the Nevis Library, so that our young people and everyone in the community who visit the library would be able to have that understanding. Because just as with the OECS experience, as I said a while ago, I believe our people know about regional integration. We know about CSME. We know about the CCJ.
Right.
We know about all these, but how do they apply to us?
Yes.
I think it is Dominica who recently announced that it is now fully with the CCJ.
Okay.
Its cases are no longer going, its appellate cases are no longer going to the Privy Council in Great Britain. Very much the same. What happens to the other member states?
Okay.
When will St. Kitts and Nevis go that way? These are the kind of things we have to work towards. And we will determine together, but yet as sovereign states, how we are going to shape that integration, how we are going to shape that cooperation to ensure it redounds to the benefit of all the people.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm not sure about Cortensia, but Your Excellency, you're making my job so easy this morning. You seem to be going through all the list of my questions. But I must ask you, where did your love and passion for national and regional development begin?
It began perhaps in primary school.
Okay.
If ever there was a subject that I did not have to study for, it was then social studies.
Social studies.
I could rattle off the capitals, the leaders, the national products, the everything about the different. So I was never a good speller. So with a 50-something or 40-something% in spelling, it was made up with 100% in social studies.
Yeah.
And so I always had that understanding and that passion of wanting to know what's going on in this country, what's going on in that country.
Okay.
And so even up to today, if I can find a service that gives me a television station in each of the member states, I subscribe to it. Because I get an opportunity to understand how the people collaborate. I have a device at home called a squeeze box, and I make sure to tune in to a radio station to each of the member states. So I have Power FM in Jamaica. I have my I-95 in Trinidad. I have my Helen Radio in St. Lucia. I make sure they're there. And ZNS in Bahamas. So I make sure at some point I'm listening to each of them. So I'm having an understanding of what's going on. Because what I've learned in some courses I've done in international relations is that news helps you to understand the dynamics in which the cooperation happens. So if you know what's really happening in the country, maybe it's crime, maybe it's a new industry, you will know if you can cooperate with that country in that industry. If they're facing a crime situation, how are they dealing with it? Are they getting over it? Maybe I should do the same thing they're doing. Can I work with them too? These are the kind of things. So you have to know what's happening in the other countries if you're going to work with them.
I like that. Wow.
Indeed. And with that,
so it goes way back since I was a child.
Since you was a child, awesome. And with that, stay with us. We continue with Your Excellency Larry Vaughan right after this short break.
Wow.
Morning all, I'm David Brown, Chef David. Tune in to SKN 8 to 10 every morning at Studio 327.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue this engaging discussion with His Excellency Ambassador Larry Vaughan about the Golden Jubilee or 50th anniversary celebration of the CARICOM community. I think I mixed up, of the CARICOM community, CARICOM. Okay, got that. So we didn't touch on the team, so let's touch on the team quickly before we proceed. 50 years strong, a solid foundation to build on. I like it, it rhymes.
Yes, that too. Just like the OECS's theme, the CARICOM theme envisions that there is still some way to go.
Yeah.
We still have a situation where we have Haiti, who is a member, and we want that solid foundation to take root in the member states like Haiti. We'd want that there is that shared cooperation throughout all the lands that are within the CARICOM region. And so it would be good that each of us knows what's happening in Suriname. If each of us could know what's happening in Guyana. And so, notwithstanding our divergence in sizes, you're talking about St. Kitts and Nevis with about 50,000 people, and populations like Jamaica and Trinidad with close to or over a million each. You are looking at such wide divergence, but yet shared cooperation.
That's true.
And so that theme says that we had that vision, yet we are not there yet. And it is something we need to build on, something we need to continually work towards. Because if we ever decide we are comfortable because we have achieved this, we don't you know who we are the Caribbean community, it leads to a place of complacency, and we have to guard against that. And this theme says that the building continues. There is in the labor community, and when I say labor, I mean trade unions and those, a luta continua, which means the struggle continues. And so not because you have made these gains mean you must relax. And so that 50 years that now we celebrate, it is just the start towards what must become that better future for the people of the region. And so we are happy to be at the wheel at this time to make sure that we navigate the Caribbean community among the Committee of Ambassadors, the different organizations like the Committee of Foreign Relations, because we have to make sure that we collaborate with the UN and the Commonwealth and Britain and United States to make sure that as a region we are standing strong, that when we go out we can negotiate with one voice, 15 votes, and get more for our people. And so there is a lot that we can do with our work these 50 years on.
Wow, nice.
And Ambassador, as for the novices like Hortensia and myself, yes.
And me, I'm novice. I'm just here, 7 months? I'm a novice as well.
I can attest, she is a novice.
Oh my God. Oh.
Can you share the difference between CARICOM and OECS? Is there a difference?
I want to quote the British on something. They normally say it's a distinction without a difference.
Okay.
Because we are still one Caribbean people. And to seek to separate OECS from CARICOM is to separate siblings, is to separate a family member because I live in one village and you live in another. We have a common identity. Historians have put it this way, that we all came from the same place, we came to the same destination, only that we were dropped off on different islands.
Correct.
So we're still one people. What I can now say separates CARICOM from OECS is the level or the method through which we are seeking to achieve integration. Because the OECS is more along the lines of what socialists used to call back in the day less developed countries. That is now a lie, because the smaller countries of the region, they are as advanced as the larger countries. So the size often separates us, but we have that vision and we work towards achieving. So when it comes to the level of integration, what separates CARICOM from OECS, for example, on goods? CARICOM allows for goods that are made within the region to move throughout the region without having to pay duties and taxes.
Okay, that's good.
So if a good is made in Trinidad and it is considered to be wholly produced or substantially produced, once it moves from Trinidad to any of the other member states, they would come in without duties and taxes. That happens within the OECS as well. However, the OECS takes it further and says, we are so closely related that if the good has landed from another country outside of the OECS, outside of CARICOM, and it lands in one member state, to move from that member state to the next, you don't pay any duties and taxes.
Interesting.
With the CARICOM, that still applies. With the movement of persons, the CARICOM says you will need a skills certificate, and they've identified now up to 13 areas where you can be, whether a university graduate, you have certain skills, you get what is called a skills certificate, and that allows you the freedom to move. In OECS, we say, once you're a citizen, movement is yours. It's not that CARICOM is being selective or is wrong with their approach, but they understand there is a broader context in which, and until we can negotiate and get that common understanding, it is a good start to begin with the professionals and make sure that we have a thriving business community within the region. And so that is the way the cooperation goes. What else is the difference between them? CARICOM well, there is investment. Both of them have investments, investments portfolios. They seek to represent us in the greater world. The OECS has embassies. So there is an embassy in Brussels, there's an embassy in Morocco, and there's a third one I can't bring quickly, but they represent all of the region, of the OECS region. CARICOM does not yet. And I don't think we'll ever might want to go that way. But who knows? The integration process will become deeper. But what I can say about both of them quickly is that we still have a desire to even deepen the integration process even more. So it's always good to listen out. There was the Treaty of Chaguaramas and revised treaty. There can be further a deeper integration. There was the Treaty of Bastille and the revised treaty. I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day, and he said he longs for the day when we move from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States to the Union of Caribbean States. And I looked at that and I said, hey, he's asking even for more deeper integration, and that's a vision we must look towards.
Well, Mr. Ambassador Vaughan, we are out of time, but just in your closing remarks, what would you say to our OECS and CARICOM citizens?
The OECS and CARICOM citizens, if I can look at you somewhere in the camera and talk to you, that St. Kitts and Nevis, OECS, CARICOM, we are all one people. And it is for us to have that conversation. It is for us to have that collaboration. It is for us to have that understanding. Because when we have that shared understanding, we are able to work together. There are some issues that are really facing us and can be so troubling. Some believe that it is crime. Others believe it is the environment. Others believe that we are not yet producing at levels where we need to. Whatever those issues are, let us have the conversation and be prepared to turn that conversation into action.
Yes.
Because it is from that we are able to build a better civilization called the Caribbean.
Oh, wow. Well said.
Very well said indeed.
I hope this is not our last conversation, but the first of many.
Yes. This is just the primer.
Okay.
We'll have to come back and put the paint on.
Exactly. Well, congratulations on your new roles, and keep making us proud here, not only the Federation, but both in the OECS and CARICOM.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. GMSKN Nation, that was Ambassador Larry Vaughan. Stay tuned. We have so much more after this short break.
And also all the beautiful people in St. Kitts, the good up girl them, the pretty girl them, the big body girl them, the skinny girl them, the educated girl them, the dunce bat them, the one that might eat but still love me and still have a tune in. Big up all the followers and all the fans of the SKN show. Love yourself, big up yourself, talk good about yourself, and let the haters heat it up.
Yeah.
No cash, no card, no problem. JAD. Embrace the freedom.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
My name is Carton Food, Chairman for Panorama.
Hi, and my name is MJ Byron, co-leader of EBJ Harmonic Steel Orchestra. And we just want to encourage everybody to tune in every morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Don't miss it. Right.
Yo, you know it's me, Mr. H.E. Yo, make sure you tune in to Good Morning SKN Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Studio 327. Yo, trust me, the baddest show in the morning. Make sure you check it out. Wake up. Make sure that you are there from 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Boom, check it. Rah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. The Sugar Boys have been qualified for the CONCACAF Gold Cup for the very first time in history. They defeated French Guiana 4-2 on penalties to clinch the spot in the tournament. Tishal McLean, General Secretary of the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, is joining us to discuss this historic win. Tishal, welcome back to Good Morning SKN.
And congratulations.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. But I think I told you I will be back.
Yes, you did.
She certainly did. She sounded like the Terminator now. I'll be back.
So, Tishal, can you share with us the training sessions in preparation for the game? How did it went?
When you have accomplishments, there's hard work and dedication that comes before. And persons don't see the progress. They don't see the vision. They don't see or feel what it takes to get to that level. Training, we started last year. It was intense. We didn't have the support that we wanted. The guys were coming out, but it wasn't as consistent, But when we finally got on board, we were ready for training, fully ready for training.
Awesome.
You said that. Do you wish that there's more place in the product that we have here in order for it to be, we're now on the international scene now, for our product to be better when we go out on that scene?
In order for our product to be better, it has to start home. And I'm not just talking about St. Kitts Nevis, that's a federation. Home meaning the clubs.
Okay.
That's where the work starts.
Okay.
They have to train and enhance and motivate and build or develop their players.
Okay.
So it starts at the club level, and then when they get to the national level, we do our part to continue that training.
Okay, good stuff.
Indeed. Can you also share with us some of the highlights from the game last night?
Oh Lord, I feel left out now.
Yes, because you didn't log on. I remember you said that.
No, at least I was honest.
Well, trust me, you missed it.
I am going to be honest. The game last night was intense. I was sweating.
Yeah.
Wow.
We started out with the first half, scoring the first goal. That was done by Tiki Williams.
Okay, congrats.
And then it was equalized by the team that we played, which was French Guyana. Now, we played French Guyana, I think it was 4 times before, and we've only defeated them once. So the fact that they were able to equalize, that is when we started being tested.
Yes.
Wow. Listen, I'm getting goosebumps and I didn't even watch the game, just hearing. Do you know of any of the challenges they would have experienced during the game?
With reference to the game, the most serious challenge that we had is weather. We have no control over nature.
Okay.
There was a lightning storm at the time, and if you realize when you did the up close or looked at the game, you will see there was a lot of rain pouring. But football is a game that is played in the rain, and that did not stop us. So it goes back to training, because when it comes to training, you have to train in very intense weather conditions, be it at the top of a hill in the sense of the humidity part of it, or in reference to hot sun. Like for example, we've been playing our premier games on Sundays at 2 o'clock, and in reference to playing in the rain. So football is a game that you have to know the challenges and have to know how to deal with them.
Indeed. Wow. Well, for me, I know I was up at midnight last night, still watching, but why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm ashamed.
I was supporting and cheering, but can you share with us what was the feedback like, or the support from the locals that were viewing?
The support was phenomenal. One thing I've learned about St. Kitts and Nevis, being a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, and let me say a very proud citizen of, especially at this moment, is that when it comes to us being on the international platform or regional, or anytime we get out of St. Kitts to perform, we support our own.
Yes, I must say that.
We continue to support our own. Last night we had 2 watch parties. One was at Vice Beach Bar, and the other one was in Nevis. The support there, persons came out. Even though the weather was an issue and we had to push back, well, not we, CONCACAF had to push back the games on numerous occasions because of the weather. They did not lose motivation. They were out to support.
So they stayed there until
that final whistle blowed.
So were you at Vibes, Tishal?
That is not a question.
So Tishal, how was it when we got 4? And you see French Guyana still struggling with their little 2. Sorry, French Guyana.
I'm about my team. When we draw first in the regular time, when we had 1-1, the intensity started up literally. For football fans and fanatics, you saw the intensity and the fright literally in their faces. But when the penalty kick started, every single score, you saw them up and bouncing literally. You could actually feel the energy there. You literally felt it. It was like you were actually there in the game or at the game supporting the team.
Wow. And indeed, it is a historical win, Tishel. Share with us the significance of this historic win.
It is historical because it's the first time that St. Kitts and Nevis has gotten to this level. This is the CONCACAF Gold Cup. This is the second most prestigious game when it comes to football, or tournament, should I say. Because the first is football, World Cup football. So for this being the second, it speaks volumes for us as a nation, a small nation.
Of course. Proud indeed.
Have you spoken to the coaches, or have you had the opportunity to touch base with any of the players that are playing right now in the US?
I keep constant communication with the technical staff, not directly with the players. I will send my support to the team manager for him to relay accordingly. The first win that we had last week, I would have sent out my congratulations. And last night, even before the game, I said, win, lose or draw, we are Kittitians and we always stick together. Kittitians and divisions, we always stick together and we go out and we do our best.
Nice. Oh my God. So when is the next game?
The next game is on Saturday. Now we're now at the group stage.
Yes.
Let me just give you some information in reference to the group stage, because now we will be playing some very, very big teams.
Wow.
I'll make reference to our scheduling for the rest of the tournament. We are playing Trinidad and Tobago, and that will be on Saturday 25th. Then we come up against the United States of America. That will be on the 28th of June. And then in July, we come up against Jamaica.
Oh, wow. Woo. Big wigs, guys. I hope you're ready. I really hope you are ready. So, Tishal, I don't know if the guys are watching, if they're still resting, in anticipation. can you give them some extra flowers and some extra motivation so that they can win some more? And I promise I'll be in tune to the other games so I won't be left out of the loop. I wouldn't feel as bad as I am feeling.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that. I want to say that I support my team 100%. St. Kitts and Nevis, we are proud of where you are right now. It was because of hard work, dedication, sacrifices that you are here. Even with the challenges, you literally overcame.
Okay.
Now, persons might have had it that we wouldn't have gotten to this level. But they showed up and they showed out last night. And for that, I have a lot of respect, not only for the players, but for the technical staff. Our technical director, Mr. Lenny Taylor, our president, because his vision about raising the standard, that is what our theme is, raising the standard of football in St. Kitts and Nevis. And he had this vision, and he wanted to make that impact, to take football to the next level in St. Kitts and Nevis, and that is what he did under his leadership.
How proud is he though? Have you guys?
He's always on social media posting as soon as a goal is scored. He posts, he sends out his congratulatory messages right after, and he of course will always be there to support them. So he always goes to support the games.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And Tishel, you're just bubbling this morning.
Yes,
you're in
I know.
celebration mode. So what's the mood for the rest of the day will be for you?
The mood for the rest of the day is just get it out there.
Yes.
For persons to continue their support, I will ask for their prayers and to just continue motivating these players. For those of you who live in the Miami area and in the US, go out and support these games because fans do make a difference. When you look up and you see St. Kitts and Nevis flag, you are proud.
Yes.
When you check your messages and you realize that your family, your friends, a country, a federation, is here supporting you. You go out and you do what you have to do. You deliver.
Of course.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, listen, I have the goosebumps. I'm so proud of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Football Association for getting this far in CONCACAF. We can do it.
Yes, and listen, I mean, with the little knowledge I have when it comes down to football, when you're playing a team and you score and the other team scores, it gets intense. But when it boils down to penalty and then the other team scores and it equalizes and then you scores and it equalizes, it's nerve. The nerves.
And that is exactly what happened last night.
Indeed. So
but as long as you have confidence in your team, you know that they will come through for you. And you realize last night we did not lose any penalty kicks.
Right.
Our players actually, they performed. They made St. Kitts and Nevis proud. Last night, the 20th of June, 2023, St. Kitts and Nevis made history.
Oh, it rhymed too. Maybe you can use that as a tagline.
Definitely on Facebook. So just continue to check our social media platforms, Twitter, IG, Facebook. Check up on the schedule. You can check in and check in on your players. For your parents and friends who have their direct numbers, just keep on motivating them.
Okay, good stuff.
Indeed. Well, Tishel, we're looking forward for for you coming here on Good Morning SKN.
Yes, I will definitely be seeing you again.
When we win again? The next game we're in St. Kitts.
Remember, I said when. The last interview I had, I said when. Not if. There's no doubt in this. St. Kitts Nevis will continue as players and a team in football will continue to make us proud.
She did, and indeed she did, said so.
Yes. So, folks, stay tuned. So much more on Good Morning SKN. Remember, continue to celebrate our players. Make them feel make them feel. Well, no. I can't find the word. Stay tuned.
Sugar boys.
Go Sugar Boys. Thank you for the cheer, Andre. The words are tying me up right now.
What's good, guys? This is Savion Govayo, owner of Liquid Gold, Instagram Liquid Gold SKN. Make sure you guys tune in every day from 8 to 10 a.m. Studio 327, Good Morning St. Kitts.
no cash, no card, no problem. JAD. Embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are back with another edition of Release, Relax, Relate. Today we are celebrating International Yoga Day. This observance is dedicated to spreading awareness about the benefits of yoga and meditation. Here to share her expertise with us is Natalia Bitton. Natalia is the founder of the Be Me Project, a mindfulness educator and a qualified yoga teacher. Join us in welcoming her to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, Natalia, and welcome to Good Morning SKN. How are you? Oh. Yeah, so let's talk about the definition of yoga.
Well, yoga is really a science and philosophy, and they say that yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so just to repeat that, they say that yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self.
Wow.
And what does that mean? It means that when we take time to be fully present with our internal experience, so what we're feeling, what we're sensing, what we're noticing inside of ourselves, that we come to know ourselves more deeply. Because we spend so much time focused on the external world, what's happening outside of us, right? Our relationships, our jobs, our responsibilities, and we're constantly seeking actually external validation. So yoga is really the practice of tuning inward and to find a sense of that wholeness within.
Wow.
And so mindfulness is really actually about witnessing our experience, witnessing our thoughts, witnessing our body, witnessing our sensations and our feelings, and doing this from a place of loving curiosity, non-judgment.
Yes.
Wow. So Natalia, my question for you is, can anyone practice yoga? Because myself, I've never practiced, never tried.
Yes, yes. Yoga is for everyone. And I think sometimes we might see images of people who are very flexible and think, okay, I can't do that. That's not for me. But yoga is really about tuning inward. And that's why it's for everyone. Things like flexibility come over time as we breathe into the body and we create less tension. But it's for everyone. And it's beyond just yoga. It's any mindfulness practice or somatic practice where we bring the attention of the mind to the internal experience, so that we're so fully in the present moment that we can't possibly be focusing on the past, rehashing what happened or worrying about what's happening tomorrow. Like, I noticed that your slogan is imagine the impossible.
Right.
And I love this because this is actually what yoga is about, or any mindfulness practice. It's in order for us to imagine the impossible, but to actually feel that that is possible, right? We have to come out of stress states. And most of us are living in chronic stress, and we don't even realize it, which is the amazing thing.
I agree.
And to come out of stress, we have to come out of the thinking mind, which is where we happen to be all the time.
All the time.
And to come back into the present moment in terms of what are we experiencing here now? Because when the mind is focused on, okay, I notice that I feel tension here, or I notice the sensation in my stomach, or I notice my breath is slowing down, my heart is slowing down, then it can't be focused on all the things that we're spinning in the head about.
Right.
And then that opens the possibility, because what happens when we experience peace, joy, any positive emotional state is that it tells the heart to send a smooth, coherent signal to the brain, specifically to the emotional brain, that then says everything is cool, everything is safe, everything is familiar, there's no need to stress out, and it brings on the mindful thinking brain, which is our higher functioning brain, which allows us to make decisions, to think intuitively, to solve problems. Only from this space can we imagine more possibility.
Right.
When we're in a space of stress or negative emotional experience, which we'll all feel, this is part of the human experience, we're going to experience anger and jealousy and all these things, but when we're in that state, what happens is the brain believes that we're in a stress survival response.
Wow.
It cuts off access to the mindful brain, the higher thinking brain, and we cannot imagine the possibility. We literally don't see it. We can't even understand someone else's perspective. So in order to really connect with one another, to imagine possibility, to thrive, we have to be able to come into the present moment and create this spaciousness for ourselves.
Very well said, very well said.
Let's talk about the launch of your Be Me project.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So the Be Me project was launched this year.
Okay.
And what it really stands for in terms of the pillars of teaching is body awareness, emotional intelligence, energy, mind. So that's like the neuroplasticity of the mind and how our environment influences us and our responsibility to our environment. And the whole goal of Be Me is really to make mindfulness education accessible to our community, and to teach practices that help people become more self-aware, more self-accepting, and more self-loving.
Okay. And you mentioned practices. What are some of those
practices?
Yes.
Yeah, so yoga is one component of it, but we actually use a variety of modalities because it's really about what works for you in your exploration of self. And so we teach everything from, let's say, mindfulness practices to somatic, which is mind-body work, where we work bottom-up regulation. So this is very effective, for example, in healing trauma or emotional wounding. We also use like dance. We use breath work. We use meditation. There are a variety of practices that can work. And we also bring education so that people can understand how their bodies tick. Like when we understand, for example, that a stress response or a certain nervous system state means that we can't make a decision, we can't be clear, we can't see someone else's perspective, then we can hold grace and compassion for ourselves in that process, which then means when we do that for ourselves, we can hold it for one another. Because the amazing thing is that emotions are contagious. So if I feel peace, I can actually influence your heart rhythms to come into a coherent, peaceful state. And if I feel anger, I can also influence your heart rhythms to come in to a negative state, which is why we say we can feel the vibes, because we can, scientifically.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break and we'll come right back. But you got to stay tuned for that part. We're not going to tell you what's going to happen just yet. But I'm sure they notice I'll change the wardrobe, right? But still, come back. Come back and see what we're going to do up next.
Alberto Hewlett from Graphics Academy. Join Good Morning SKN from 8 to 10 every morning at Studio 327.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this This is something special for St. Kitts, I'm telling you. Tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
To all the beautiful people in St. Kitts, the good up girl them, the pretty girl them, the big body girl them, the skinny girl them, the educated girl them, the dunce bat them, the one that might eat but still love me and still have a tune in. Big up all the followers and all the fans of the SKN show. Love yourself, big up yourself, talk good about yourself, and let the haters heat it up.
Yeah.
Yo, you know it's me, Mr. H.E. Yo, make sure you tune in to Good Morning SKN Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Studio 327. Yo, trust me, the baddest show in the morning. Make sure you check it out. Wake up. Make sure that you are there from 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Boom, check it. Rah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and we're back with Natalia, and she's going to be giving us a live demonstration of some simple yoga poses that are perfect for beginners, especially for myself. But as my shirt says, I was raised on concrete, so I got this. So Natalia, take it away.
Thank you. So the first pose we're going to do is called cat-cow, and this is really just to loosen up the spine and to bring breath through the spine. So now if you have problems with the knees, you can always sit in a chair and do this, but we're going to do this in the traditional way. So we're going to come onto all fours. So spread the fingers wide, keep the knees about hip width apart, and then what we're going to do is close down the eyes so we can tune into our bodies, and then we're going to inhale, lifting the chin, arching the back, lifting the bottom, pushing into the earth. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to round the spine, tilt the pelvis forward and really push into the earth. And then again, we're going to inhale, lifting up. And exhaling, rounding the spine, just flowing to the rhythm of the breath here. And again, inhaling up, imagining that life force energy of your breath, lubricating the entire spine, exhaling and rounding. And really noticing where you feel any restriction of the breath or any tension as you do this movement. And exhaling as you round. So something else to just take note of is that when we exhale audibly, we signal to the vagus nerve of the nervous system that it's safe for the body to relax. So the more we can allow the breath to be audible, so breathing in as we lift up, and audibly exhaling, we will actually receive more benefit from the movement when we allow the breath to be fully heard and felt. And just allowing a couple rounds of that. And this is so great to practice because anyone can do this, and it just creates more flexibility in the spine. The spine is the space that houses your entire nervous system, so all the communication of the body.
And you said this one is called?
Cat-cow.
Cat-cow, got it.
I think that was more common than cat, but yeah.
And then from there, we're going to do a very simple one. This is a rest posture. And so this is really good, especially if you want to down-regulate the nervous system, so you're experiencing stress. We're going to click the toes together. We're going to open the knees. And we're just going to reach the body forward all the way. We're going to invite the bottom to come towards the feet. And we're going to just drop the forehead towards the floor. And so we're
Here
really,
we go.
Yeah, we're just reaching with the arms all the way in front of us.
Forward on the floor?
Forward on the floor. And we want to really feel the energy of the spine extending. So we're lengthening, growing the spine all the way to the top of the crown and the fingertips here. But we're also drawing the pelvis down towards the feet. And as you breathe in, notice where you feel any tension or restriction, and then invite the breath to expand in this space and to soften the body. So imagining, for example, that the space between the shoulder blades starts to soften towards the earth. And perhaps the shoulders start to relax and widen away from the ears. Maybe the bottom draws just a little bit closer to the feet. And again, it's all about the breath here. So the more we breathe into the posture, the more we feel as we inhale, we allow that breath to expand the oxygen to fill the spaces of tightness. And then as we exhale, really imagining that space just melting and softening. And take another deep breath in, fill up, and exhale, slowly melting, relaxing. One more breath, breathing in.
This is so good, I'm falling asleep.
I love that. And the magic really is just in taking a moment to feel your experience.
I was trying to get my tail a little low to my feet, but it wasn't working.
Well, and the beauty is the more and more you breathe, like the more cycles of breath you allow, the more your body will just naturally start to sink and soften into the space. Okay. And so there's one more pose.
Yeah.
So that one was the child's pose.
Yeah, that's the child's pose. We're now going to do the standing forward bend.
Yes.
Getting up was easy. Getting flexible already. On days I can't, I swear I can't. Andre, what do you think about this one?
I was going to sleep. It was putting me to sleep. It's good. First attempt, not bad.
Not at all.
If I can do it, anyone can.
Anyone.
Including you.
I so can do it. I'm practicing my bend, you know. I know I can't get as close to hold my body as that young lady because she's more flexible than me. Yeah, I'm practicing.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to take a deep breath in and we're going to raise. Really reaching towards the sky, feeling the body lengthening. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to just allow the arms to open. And we're going to come down slowly, intentionally, all the way to a forward fold. So first, let's just grab either elbow. Okay. And we're just going to allow the spine to hang. So we're taking pressure off here. Maybe you even just rock side to side.
And let's not worry so much about flexibility. So if the hamstrings are tight, we can actually just bend the knees a little bit and focus a little bit more on tucking in the stomach, lengthening the spine. So really allowing the spine to fall towards the earth. The weight of the head is just relaxed. And we're taking weight off the shoulders, just wringing out the spine here, creating space between each vertebrae. And as you breathe and exhale, imagine the lengthening of the spine. So we're creating more space between each vertebrae, lengthening the neck out of the shoulders. Yeah.
You said it's okay to move left and right?
Yeah, just allow a little bit of swinging and I think this is the beautiful thing about yoga or any type of movement practice is just really listening into what the body is signaling. So if the body wants to move, we allow it to move. If it wants stillness, we allow stillness. It's honoring the wisdom of what's being communicated. And then we'll just release our hands to the earth. And then we'll inhale up. So we're lengthening the spine here. You can place the hands on the shins. And then again, we're going to exhale and just allow the body to curl down. Releasing the head. Just breathe here, take a breath in, fill up. And at the very top of the inhale, notice where the tension is. As you exhale, invite it to soften. And then we'll just roll up like a rag doll, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up.
What I realize is that I have tension all in my back. Whoa, all in my back. So Natalia, this was invigorating. I felt the little tension in my back. For those folks who would want to begin yoga, how can they contact you?
So you can follow us on Instagram at Be Me Project. That's like the bumblebee. So BEEME Project. And you can also follow us on our website at www.bemeproject.com. Or you can contact me directly at 762-8656. And there are yoga classes on Wednesdays and Sundays at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel.
At what time?
At Wednesdays at 9:30 and Sundays at 8 a.m.
And this is at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel. Are AM times?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are other classes on island as well.
Do you specify any age group? Kids or just adults?
Anyone can practice
Anyone
yoga.
can.
It's for everybody. Yeah.
All righty, well, Natalia, it was indeed our pleasure having you come. We hope this is the first of many visits to our studio.
Thank you.
And good luck with everything that you have in store and everything that you put your hands to. I see my co-host seems like he has plenty.
Natalia got me in the groove. She did. Those stretches worked.
Oh my gosh. So thank you once again. But we're out of time.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Close us out.
Yeah, she will help us close
us out.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to close out with a saying that we say in yoga, which is namaste.
Oh.
And namaste means that the light and truth within me honors and salutes the light and truth within your beautiful souls.
Oh, okay. That's so awesome.
I know.
So Cortez that time.
Yeah.
And Natalia's gonna help us to sing.
Yeah, she's gonna.
So long.
Farewell
to you, my friends. Goodbye.
For now. Until we meet again.
She all gonna get it next time.
Next time,
indeed. No, thank you for joining us today, folks. Tune in daily where you'll find a little bit of everything for everyone. Get your friends and families to watch. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio327 Inc. and Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Also, check out our website at Studio327Inc.com to learn more about GMSKN and Studio 3. st.kitts327.
And leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thursday, yes, when you wake up bright and early and start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Remember to contact Natalia if you need to practice your yoga and practice some mindfulness today. And remember, I always say, have a great day, but if you cannot have a good one, do not go messing up nobody else's. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you tomorrow.